So if you're following along, this is an NES that I just recently got off of eBay. I got a really good deal on this. It came with a pretty good bundle of 4 games, 2 zappers, 2 controllers, and in good condition. It needs to be cleaned up, and I'm starting with what you see here. It hasn't been touched really at all or cleaned, only tested. So it's a little dirty and could use a good cleaning, but overall the condition is good. There's no damage or major flaws with it, so I think after a good restoration and cleaning, this could come out looking really good. In the testing that we did with it already, we noticed there's wavy lines in the video, and that's going to most likely be down to bad capacitors. Capacitors are already on order, and once I get those in, we'll be changing those out on the entire unit, both in the AV power board and also the 3 that are on the main board itself. And before we get started with all that, I'm going to want to disassemble this, and I'm going to want to get the 72 pin connector out, and I want to start with a restoration on that. And the shell, probably just the top side for now until I get down and break it down, and the motherboard and the AV unit to separate them. That'll be when I get my capacitors, but for now I want to get it apart, and I'm going to get the top cover and 72 pin connection hopefully restored and cleaned here tonight. So first thing first will be to disassemble one, which is something that I actually haven't done before. I had a Nintendo growing up. It was the first system I bought. I ended up having to get a paper route. I remember when it came out, and there's Mario Brothers at the time when I was a kid. It was always a fun system that we would rent from the video stores, which was something that you could do back then. Always wanted to own one, but was never able to get one until I was finally able to get a paper route. And the first money that I earned from that paper route went to buying the Super Mario 3 bundle, which was new at the time. And then I got to own the NES for its prime years after that. But not since then have I owned one, and never will I know what happened to my original. I'm sure it probably disappeared in a garage sale or something back at the time. But I've just recently reacquired one for the first time since then. So I'm excited to get inside this and do a restoration and do some repairs, and probably eventually even some mods. So that'll be all fun stuff here for the channel. And if you guys want to see that, hope to see you guys in those videos. There'll be plenty more to come. I believe there's a cartridge still in here. We're going to want to eject that first. So the top cover should come off now. That should expose our top plate. And there we go. We're down to the bare motherboard. So there's 3 capacitors here that I'll be replacing. I'm actually going to be upgrading them to higher rated capacitors that have the same microfarad rating but a higher voltage rating. And actually one of them is a film capacitor rather than electrolyte. So that'll kind of be an upgrade. Everything looks to be in good shape inside. I don't see any burst capacitors, but I'll have to detach this AV board here the power board, and what I plan to do is actually peel off this top plate and desolder it from here, because what I've read is when you desolder it here, which looks to be the obvious way, you also need to desolder these attach points here that are to the ground planes. There's pads also on the other side, and the thermal mass here with these ground pads are make it difficult to remove, so desoldering it from the inside is the better option, so that's the way I'll approach that. But for now, I want to get this 72 pin connector off, and this is what I want to do, a real good inspection on this and a restoration. So the first thing I'm going to do is boil it. I read that trick, never would have thought of that. Seems like a good idea. I understand the theory of it, so it can't hurt to try, because these OEM ones are still the best quality that you're going to get, I believe, for these. I'll do a full cleaning and restoration of this motherboard, including the recap. This big one here can possibly be the problem of the wavy video, or it is one that's in the video circuit. There's a 100 microfarad one in there, I believe, that could possibly be our problem. There's actually different variations of this, many different variations of this AV power board, so I'll have to see which one I have inside. It's an Alps. I can see that already by the markings, so that's the more common one, I believe, or the one I read the most about. So I'll get inside there. There's going to be 4, 5, 6 capacitors in there that I'll be replacing. I purchased all the different combinations, many of each. I should be able to service probably at least 4 or 5 of these different variations if I had to. So I should have everything I need, I hope, to get what's in there replaced, and that'll be coming in a future video. But for now, I'm going to get this broken down even further and start with the restoration. Okay, now we're down to a bare plastic shell here on the bottom. That's gonna go into the sink for a good bath. Get cleaned. The top will be the same. Looks like I can break this down a little bit further with the access pieces here. And the spring for the door. That green streak is mysterious. We'll never know where that came from. Okay, I've broken that down as far as it can go. This stuff is all ready to go through the dishwasher if I wanted it to, but I'm going to give it a real good hand scrub and wash. I may show you guys just a little bit of that. Probably don't want to bore you guys with too much of it, but I think you guys have probably seen it before. There's more of me cleaning stuff here on the channel if you really want to see it, but I'll show you guys a little bit about what I do. Some of these parts I'll hand wash. This whole mechanism feels and really looks like new just in my hand right now. I would these must be markings, some maker markings, probably quality controls. These streaks, looks like there's one right there too, so these are probably markings along the way of quality control. And yeah, everything looks There's no rust or any kind of corrosion of any kind that I can see anywhere inside of here. Everything is clean and shiny, basically. So just a tiny little bit of dust and a little bit of dirt and grime on the outside that'll come off and get cleaned easily. So yeah, all this should come out looking pretty new when we're done. All these little parts and pieces will shine and polish up like new. Have Aerospace 303 here to give all these plastics a nice good UV coating and a matte finish when they're done. So all this stuff should look pretty good when I'm finished with it. So it helps that I got a good shell to start with. As you can see, this one needs to be cleaned just a little bit, but that will all come off quite easily under hot water and soap and a scrub brush. So inside of these vents and stuff will be easy to get in the sink. So that's where I'm going next with all this, and I'm going to probably boil this connector. I can show you guys that. I don't think there's anything much to see there. It's going to be just water boiling, but I plan to put this in at room temperature, I guess, just into the cold water and bring it up. Instead of shocking it, I'll bring it up to temperature and then let it cool naturally, and then I'll probably repeat that process one more time. That'll also be good just to clean it, and knowing that can't harm it and will hopefully help it will be an easy way to clean and restore this, I hope. I might get in there with a pin or a dental pick and, if necessary, see that I'm not sure that it is. I'm gonna try this first before I try anything else, and then I'll be able to know the results, because it worked, as you guys seen before, but it was a little finicky, and sometimes I would get the blinking light or a garbled signal. So although the last time I tested it there, all I did was put the Mario in. I didn't try to press it to any corner or side or anything like that. It was just a straight in and go, and it worked fine. So I don't know, we'll have to see. It's a functional and pretty good 72 pin connector to start with. It's an OEM one, so hopefully it doesn't need a whole lot of work to kind of bring it back to rejuvenate it. So that's coming up. So if you guys want, keep sticking around. I've got more to come here.